I'm on my own, broken alone. I feel the rain crashing.
Oh my god, Connor finally tells the story of being a victim of Zoe Laverne. So if you guys don't remember the story, it all happened back in 2020.
We both liked each other, and then we realized that the ages were too different. Nothing happened between us besides kissing, and
My name is Connor, and at the age of 13, I was statutory R-worded by a popular TikTok influencer. This happened 5 years ago, and I'm sure that a lot of you are familiar with the situation, and it's taken me a while to come to terms to talk about it. I do want to start off by saying that a lot of the things that you see on the internet of people coming out saying that they were also victims of Zoe, or also that they were involved in the situation in any sense, trying to claim that they underwent any sexual or romantic abuse through her, are completely false. One thing I won't discredit is her being inappropriate on the phone with other minors, saying inappropriate things, or let alone just manipulating other children. But I can confidently say that the extensivity that it got to with me, it has been with just me and no other children. It's taken me a very long time to talk about this solemnly because of the backlash I have received from the media, because I still am in high school and I still am a minor. But third of all, because I was trying to press legal action against her, and I didn't want my case to be tampered with due to my social media posts. For starters, I was a fan. I did join her fan base in 2018. I had a fan page and everything. And I went on a tour stop in Washington, D.C. in 2018 to meet her for the very first time. Now, at the time, there was a lot of other influencers on this tour. We went to solemnly take pictures. It was for fans to meet their favorite creators. Now, over the time of 2018 to 2019, she would talk to fans that I ended up becoming friends with. We had mutual friends, and I was then introduced to her through, she added me on Snapchat, and we would talk every now and then. It was all kept to a normal, cordial level. Now, in August of 2019, she had a tour stop in my hometown that I went to, which I went with two of my friends, and after the show, I was talking with her. She brought me upstairs to see the venue. It was more of a secluded thing from the rest of the people that were there to attend. I also attended another one in December of 2019, so by the third time of me meeting her in person, she knew who I was just based off of seeing me. Now, in 2020, I still was keeping it going with this fan page, and I had a lot of mutual friends that talked to her, and we would all FaceTime and group FaceTimes, but slowly it started sectoring off to just private FaceTime calls between the two of us. In April of 2020, things did start to get a little more personal. It was causing issues between her and her ex-boyfriend, Cody. He was concerned about things, all of that. Now, my birthday is on May 10th, and at the time, it was COVID, so I was having a drive-by birthday party past my house. My mom had reached out to Zoe to see if she'd be able to make it out here because she knew how much I had idolized her and thought it would make my whole birthday if she was able to come here to surprise me. It didn't end up working out, and she came out here on Memorial Day, which was only a week or two after my birthday, and things were a little uncomfortable for the time being, but everything was normal. Now, it was about 2 weeks later, the first week of June, when her and her ex-boyfriend had broken up, and she was in Tennessee at the time with her friend Amber, which then they both drove out here instantly to come visit me. Now, I was under the impression that they were only coming to visit for a week, but because they had both just gotten fresh out of relationships, they both made the decision to move here for a fresh start. Now, prior to her coming and visiting me, she did discuss with me on the phone that she liked me. I thought she was messing around. I thought it was just a funny little prank. She told me that she liked me, and that when she came to visit me in May, she wanted to hold my hand. She wanted to, kind of be more intimate. Now, at the time that she had came here, I had just turned 13, maybe a week prior. I had a very close friend group at the time that I would talk to, that I had voiced about being a little uncomfortable with the fact of knowing that she liked me and her still coming here. But I was under the impression I only had to see her for a week, so I was in fear of, if anything were to go wrong, I only have to deal with her for a week and I can move along and not speak to her again. Now, because she did make the ultimate decision to come and move here, we continued to get closer and closer and closer. Now, in June, she did kiss me. She did start to get more personal. She would try to seclude me off from my friends, from my family, try to get me away, whatever. Now, if you were on social media back in this timeline, you could see that I defended her for everything she was ever accused for, canceled for, etc. I was so strung up and just trying to process real life because someone that I'd idolized for years was now living in my hometown, was somebody that was becoming my best friend, someone very close to me. And I was so caught up in just, wow, how is this real? That I wasn't paying attention to what was actively happening to me in the time being. Now, she kissed me, and as time went on, things started picking up to a worse and worse level. She would engage in sexual conversations with me, sending me pictures, calling me on the phone, doing things on the phone with me, etc. Now, keep in mind, I still was very highlighted by the fact that this girl was in my life because it was a surreal thing to me that I was too afraid to speak up and have her hate me and wonder where things would end up. And a lot of people ask where my parents were at this time, but growing up, I've been bullied all throughout middle school ever since I was younger. I didn't have a lot of friends, so straight off the bat, my parents thought that this was a good thing, and seeing how happy it made me from the start, that they thought that it would be a good thing for us to become friends and for us to be hanging out, whatever. There was obviously a lot of restrictions on things. My mom would question things at times. She never thought that it was not weird, but I gave her that reassurance that things were fine. Now, I specifically remember there was one specific day that we were hanging out and I was at her house, and she had kind of just thrown herself on top of me and asked me if I was ready. My heart was beating super fast, and I still specifically remember her asking me, "Are you okay? Like, your heart's beating super fast, are you okay?" And I was in a moment of shock. I never thought things would ever evolve to this level. This girl had 20 million followers. I knew she had a career on the line. I always told myself she would never, ever do anything to mess with her career or ruin her career. In this moment, I was in a state of shock. She asked me if I was okay and if I wanted to, and I responded with yes, although my body language was very obvious that I was uncomfortable with the situation. This was a continuous event that continued to happen over and over again. And when things were publicized back in October of 2020, I had talked to authorities and I lied to the police for her. Now, back in October of 2020, when things were publicized on the internet, I did talk to authorities and I did lie to the police because I was heavily manipulated and I was still in a sense of trying to protect her. She had gotten into my brain so deep that she had told me if she went to jail for what she did, that she would off herself. And being only 13 years old, and again, this is someone you idolize and you look up to, that is going to mess with your head. After this, they thought it wasn't a threat, they moved along, and Zoe still tried to pursue a relationship with me because she thought she was in the clear. She would make fake Snapchat accounts to contact with me. My mom cut off contact with us, and she would still make accounts to have desires to speak to me. Now, after this incident, it has been 5 years, and I was bullied out of school, I was harassed, I was assaulted, my family was harassed, I had false CPS reports, my house has been attempted to be swatted, my address was leaked. I've had to face so many repercussions because of this girl. Now, I want to make it clear that I have tried to come out about my story and seek legal justice since then, and they have made every excuse they possibly could to not give me the justice that I deserve. I showed up with receipts, I showed up with proof, I showed up with everything, and they still did not want to believe me. The authorities had told me straight to my face that they had thought this was all conducted under a publicity stunt and we were doing this for views and attention, completely disregarding the straight laws and the straight proof that was right in front of their face. My case was dragged out for almost a year of just back and forth between we can do something, we can't, we can, we can't. It's a very deteriorating feeling, though, to still face repercussions for a situation I was a victim in from 5 years ago, still to this day, while the person is walking free and can't even take the accountability to own up to what she did to me. As well as her friend Amber that lived here with her told me that she would testify for me and speak out for me because she lived there and watched everything happen and then proceeded to ghost the police and ghost me and not help me with my case, period. Now, I will be making a part 2 to show all of the evidence that I do have to back up my claims, because these are very serious allegations and I'm not lying on anything that I'm saying. If you take a rewind back to lives that she had went on speaking about this back in the timeline, it is very obvious that she is guilty for a lot more than she was speaking about. I do appreciate all of you guys' support throughout the past years, and I'm sorry for all the time that it has taken, but it has taken me a lot of courage and time to finally be at peace to speak up about this while I'm still facing therapy after 5 strong years.
Cody said, I hope it's not coming off from me, but I'm seriously proud of you, Connor. You've grown into a great man regardless of what you've been through. Forever wishing you justice. Connor said, appreciate you. If roles were reversed, this would have blown up so quick. We got justice for Kayla, now we got justice for Connor. So she was actually starting to like him at 12, that's crazy. You were 13, she was 19. You were a baby, Connor. I hope you get the justice you clearly deserve. Proud of you for speaking up. How is she still walking freely after everything she has done? So what do you guys think about this whole situation?
We both liked each other, and then we realized that the ages were too different. Nothing happened between us besides kissing, and I'm saying that now, like, I'm really sick of people thinking that we did other stuff besides kiss. There's a video going around of people saying that it's me and Connor, and it's like of these like 2 people doing something like nasty, and that's not us. All the videos that were leaked of Connor and I were us kissing, and I just wanted to come on live and let you guys know that it stopped months ago. It hasn't been a thing for a while now. Connor and I don't have communication right now due to our parents both agreeing to cut our contact and give us both time to heal and from social media, because social media is very toxic to us right now. And we're both just kind of hurting. We're trying to like laugh off the situation because we both realized back then that it was just like not right, and that the ages weren't